Rules. It has zero welding, all body. So last night we went and picked up this car. It's a pre-run Toyota Solara. Now this is a V6 automatic. I just paid scrap price for it. Didn't come with a cat. Came with all this stuff on the inside, but I do have to give it back. Gas tank, battery, fuel lines, cable, switch on the roof, all that's got to be given back. But the main reason why I bought this car is underneath this hood is a lot of parts that I can use on some of my Camrys. And I'm basically just going to rob this thing for parts. Even something as simple as that Strut Tower Bar I'm going to keep and reuse. And just put in the 4-cylinder Camrys and see how it goes. And just kind of part and piece these things together to try to make myself one heck of a killer car. So I guess it's raining pretty bad, so I got to put the camera back inside the shop so it doesn't get soaking wet. And I'm going to start dismantling this thing in the rain. First things first, I got to take out the tank and the battery. Now my plan is to not even take this car off the trailer, just to basically strip it and then fill it up quickly and then take it into the scrapyard very shortly. I could run this car again if I really wanted to, but the thing of the matter is I've had horrible luck running pre-ran cars that I bought off other people, so I'm not even going to risk it. All I'm going to do is just take the parts I want, fill it up, and scrap it. So the first thing we have to do to this car is we have to remove his gas tank, his battery, his fuel lines, his battery cables, and he wants to switch off the roof. And I have no problem doing that. He's a buddy of mine who's another Derby guy that sold this car because he's basically moving from one house to another and he does not have a truck and trailer anymore. So he didn't need it, he didn't want it. I wanted the parts, so boom, made a deal. So let's get all his stuff out, and then I'll show you what I want to save out of this car for my other Toyotas. Now this one's a V6, so some of the parts that could work, I'm not sure, but I'm going to take them anyways. Okay, so we've removed basically everything of his, and now we're going to start removing stuff for us. What we're going to save for ourselves is a lot of the sensors, coil packs, stuff like that. Obviously the rad because it's already smashed. We're not going to save this front bumper. Even though it's a good factory bumper, it's about at the end of its life. We're going to save this Strut Tower Bar. Basically anything that's electrical that I think might cross over to some other Toyota Camrys. We're going to save spindles, we're going to save tie rods, we're going to save this strut, both axles. We've already saved the sunroof and we got all the tech screws. We probably got 35 tech screws out of this thing. Coming to the back, I think we might save some of these struts back here, maybe some of these lower arms. I'm not 100% sure, seeing how hard they are to get out or not. And basically that's my plan for this. Well, as it sits right now, I'm cold and I'm tired and I'm wet, so I'm done. But I'll continue this tomorrow, and hopefully it's not raining tomorrow, and we can continue. As it sits right now, I've got the tie rods cut, I've got the the struts out, I've got the axles off. I'm just going to clean up all my tools and basically call that a day, basically. I'm very cold and don't really want to be doing this right now. I'm going to go inside and have a nice dinner. The weather's quite a bit nicer today, and we're not out here in the rain. Still quite overcast and a little cold, so we got some sweaters on. But this is how we ended it last night. We got struts out, tie rods cut, and just axles kind of sitting there. I was hoping to keep all these struts out of this one, well, at least the driver's side one, but the spring's broken. So I'm going to have to replace that spring with a different one. And the passenger side one is bent pretty bad, and the spring's broken as well. So I just can't quickly steal the spring out of the passenger side to throw on the driver's side. But I bought another car I got to go pick up tomorrow night. So I need to get this thing stripped and filled by tomorrow night. It's a big task ahead of us. So let's get started and keep going on this thing. My goal today is to get spindles, axles, lower control arms, all the rads out of it, and a whole bunch of sensors. And the reason why I want the lower control arms is because just in case I have one that bends, I want to have a replacement. So, I know you guys are probably getting sick and tired of me stripping cars on video, so I didn't really film it this time. But, the Camry wagon now has no carpet, no seats, no interior, no nothing in it. This thing's ready for scrap tomorrow. It's a little bit rushed. I'd like to spend a little bit more time taking stuff out of this, but we have to go pick up a new car tomorrow. So tomorrow after work, I'm going to rush to the scrapyard, hopefully make it there before the yard closes, get this thing in, get it crushed, and go get the new car. And I'll be showing you guys that, hopefully. But the parts that we saved out of this car are this. Even though this spring is broken, the strut is good, so that is worth saving. We saved the passenger side lower control arm. We had a little bit of a hard time getting it out. We saved driver's side lower control arm, which came out much nicer, along with the spindle. We got driver's side axle. That came out really nicely. We have the Strut Tower Bar. Now, why I like these is because these only come on Solares. but they fit a lot of other cars. So this will fit a lot of other Camrys, and this is a factory part that will add strength. So if you're running a stock show, you can basically run this just fine and get away with it because it is a factory part. Over here we have the passenger side spindle. And if you're noticing something, we are missing the passenger side axle. And the reason why we are missing the passenger side axle is because on these V6 Toyota Camrys, the passenger side axle is actually part of the motor mount. And I'm not willing to do that amount of work to this car. So we're just gonna let this go. And we did save some temperature sensors, and we saved some throttle positioning sensors, some thermostats, and I believe we also saved a knock sensor out of it. But she's ready to go to the yard, and I'm fine with that. Make sure you guys hit that like button and the subscribe button. Thanks very much, and we'll see you guys back here tomorrow.